Because like this fight is about the fairness of the entire country in the future. And it's not just about me. So when you see them running around and I'm no longer here, give them the love that you gave me. That's right. That's right.
Still trapped by mass incarceration. There is still another family that's being impacted by mass incarceration. Still another community that's missing some people who have been basically enslaved by mass incarceration. So we stand here today on their behalf. We stand in the gap for those women and for those men who can't be here for themselves. We stand for ourselves, that we will no longer be relegated to a second-class citizenship, that we will stand and we will fight and we will have our fists up in the air and we will say, it's all of us. Or none. All of us. Or none.
This year we've achieved a lot of big accomplishments in the area of fines and fees reform. In particular, we got the state to stop suspending people's licenses for failures to pay, and we got, which is a huge deal. We got this when we wrote that report. There were 17% of all California driver's licenses were suspended for failures to pay. Not for driving safety, but for failure to pay, for people who could not afford to pay. And this year we got that practice to end. Yes. Yep. It affects people's ability to get to work. People lose their jobs when they lose their licenses. It affects people's ability to take their kids to school or to take their family members to the doctor. This is about families. You know, this is about people's ability to make a life for themselves.
So I'm going to talk about SB 180. It's also called the RISE Act. For me, these enhancements felt like double jeopardy because I was punished again and again because for prior drug convictions and that I had already served time for. This bill will make it possible for people with addiction to spend less time in jail and free up the resources to invest in treatment programs and therapy for them.
But the big picture is we have 8 million Californians who have arrest or criminal record who now will have a fair chance at employment, thanks to you. So give that up a round of applause. And she got up there and she gave her testimony, and Senator Jackson looked at her and had some giving back and forth, and she won her vote. You got her to go from a no to a yes, and you got to honor by the skin of our teeth. So if there's an MVP, hi Senator Skinner, if there's an MVP of this bill, it's you. You saved us that day.
To me, I believe in the power of agreement. I believe in the power of unity, and that's what happened, and that's what made this happen right here. The power of the people wanting in unity, in agreement, and making something up and not giving up and fighting, because that's what it takes to fight. You have to fight no matter what comes against you, and so when we have each other and we do this together in unity and in agreement, then boom, look what happened. The law's passed. So
the amazing ideas and the movement, it all started with everyone in this room, and I mean, you just allowed us nerds to come in and put it into legalese and try to get it through the legislature.
Well, I'm going to be brief, but I will say thank you to everybody that is here, because I know that you all supported this work in whatever way, whether it was sponsoring legislation, whether it was changing the language on application forms, whether it was coming to testify, mobilizing for one of our rallies. We did this. That's right. We did this together.
Yes. Ban the box was that initial step that says, this is what we want for ourselves. It was the first time that we were saying yes to life. It was the first time that we were saying yes to our civil rights. And it was the first time that we was deciding on that. I know that the next group of organizers that come behind me, they're stronger, they're faster, they're brighter. They will take more ground than I ever could gain.
Right, yeah.
You know, because at a certain point, We want the full restoration of our civil and our human rights. And that's what our struggle is about. That I adopt the philosophy of the presumption of rehabilitation upon the completion of my sentence. And I don't owe anybody anything after I serve my time. I have the right to defend my family. If you're spending my tax dollars, I have the right to stay in public housing. If you're spending my tax dollars, I have the same rights as anybody else in the United States have. And if I can't vote, I question whether or not I'm a legitimate citizen or not. So if I can't vote in Florida, what am I? Just a citizen of East Palo Alto? Maybe you feel me now. Because at a certain point, what happened when we really find our voice? Probably the greatest sacrifice have been theirs because I didn't spend the time that I should be spending at home. But I just want y'all to introduce y'all to my grandkids because like this fight is about the fairness of the entire country in the future. And it's not just about me. So when you see them running around and I'm no longer here, give them the love that you gave me. That's right. Thank you. Thank you.